Why don't we just go ahead and just do our quick check-in for today? So how about you guys share if you have like a rose, thorn, or bud that you want to share with the group. Okay, I'm going to go Joey and then Alyssa and Michaela to start.
I have a thorn. It's that my dog won't stop eating my blanket. Like, I'm sitting here and he'll be sitting on the floor just chewing on my blanket.
Oh no, that's kind of distracting when things like that happen. I wonder does he have like a chew toy that you can give him or something, or he just won't let go of that blanket?
No, yeah, he just won't let go of my blanket.
Okay.
I mean, he let go now because I think he found his other bone.
Oh, good. Okay, Alyssa.
Well, I just received the email from Miss Lecce. But I have a thorn. The snow at my house is like slushy, and I personally don't like the slushy snow.
Yeah, I noticed that the snow's definitely changing. It's fading fast in some places, and there's bare patches, and then it definitely is slushy in other places and crunchy in other places. Like we were skiing, Natalie and I were cross country skiing yesterday, and it was crunchy all over the place. So. Thanks for letting me know that you got that email from Mrs. Lecce. So you guys should be all set. Okay, good. So when that assembly starts at 1:05, you guys use that link to get into it. And then when that assembly is done, you will all go just into the regular link for your wrap rooms for the rest of that 7 Peaks time.
Should we just email her if, like, right before if we haven't got it?
You didn't get it yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. Let's see. Alyssa, can you just forward that email from Mrs. Lecce to Kyler? And then, Kyler, you might want to ask Mrs. Lecce to maybe add, she might have like a list of kids who are all like the remote rebels, and you might not be on there because you just joined. She might have just forgotten to add you to that little group. But you can tell her that Alyssa's forwarding it to you, so you now have the link, but can she add you to the remote rebels group when she sends things? Okay. Michaela and then Leah.
So, my best friend's birthday is tomorrow, which is a huge bud. And the coolest thing about it is that tomorrow is her birthday, and then the day after that is Berea. So, like, she'll get a whole bunch of stuff, and then, like, will end up going to Berea before she can use it.
Well, that'll be fun that you get to see her on her birthday weekend.
Yeah, it is. And, I already gave her present because, like, we had a sleepover a couple weeks ago. So that was really fun.
Awesome.
I'm really excited.
Cool. All right, Leah, your turn. Uh-oh. Leah, it looks like your connection isn't great, so you might want to turn off your video so that we can hear you a little better. Okay, Leah, it doesn't look like your audio is working either, so if you want to write it in the chat, you can go ahead and do that. Yep, go ahead, Amy. Okay, anybody else want to share a rose, thorn, or bud before we move on? Go ahead, Dylan.
It's Wednesday, so it means, like, it's a flip day, and I really like flip days because it's kind of, like, different than all the other days, so...
Yeah, I like the flip day schedule too when we go backwards, because right now you guys are my last class of the day, and then I get to do my SSR, and then I have my teacher meeting, and then we have 7 Peaks, so it's kind of fun. Okay, Leah says, when the trees get ice, it's so pretty. That's her rose for today. And oh, she was asking, how was my skiing trip? Thanks, Leah, for asking. Yeah, Natalie and I had a lot of fun skiing yesterday, even though the snow's not been, you know, as great as it was, but we still had a lot of fun getting to go skiing. And that's my thorn for today, is that after school I have a teacher meeting, so I'm probably not going to have time to go out cross-country skiing before it gets dark today. So I think I'll just have to do something else, like either yoga or, you know what I've been wanting to do but I haven't done at home yet is kickboxing. So maybe tonight I'll try some kickboxing, and I'll have to let you guys know how that goes, but we'll see.
Yeah, my brother was just doing that like 2 days ago, like for his gym class.
Cool. Andy, you like kickboxing too? Awesome. All right. So our next activity for today, because it's Wednesday, is, what do you think? What's our Wednesday activity?
which one doesn't belong?
Which one doesn't belong? Exactly. So I'm going to show you our choices for which one doesn't belong today. I got to share my screen. And we can have a little conversation about them. So everybody take like about 30 seconds, just check out the choices, and then we'll start sharing why each one of these doesn't belong. Okay, so anybody want to start with the first one and have a reason why that one doesn't belong? Okay, I'm going to go Kyler, Andy, Michaela, Joey. Go ahead, Kyler. Oh, you're on mute, Kyler.
It's the only one with like blue, I guess, instead of green.
Okay, it's the only one with blue. Good. Andy?
No, I was gonna say that.
Okay, can you think of something else? Even if somebody takes your answer, can you, and you're up next, is there an alternate thing that you could say?
I mean, it'll probably take a little more thinking.
Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to you if you think of something else. Joey, how about you?
I was gonna say what she said as well.
Okay. Who was Michaela? How about you? And then Haley?
Is the only one of the 8s that is only one filled. That is only filled once.
Okay, so there's only
It's the only one with 1/8.
All right, good. So 1/8 is shown there. Haley?
I was gonna say what she said, but different. I was gonna say it's the only one that has less than 1/4 filled, because the rest of them have 1/4 or more filled.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so it's the only one that has less than 1/4 filled. Good, Haley. So since it's only 1/8, I also noticed that it's the fraction that is closest to what, would you say? That fraction is the one that is closest to, we have those benchmark fractions that we often compare our fractions to. I always say to you.
And what it's closest to.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the closest to 0.
Perfect, Gideon. Good. So remember our benchmark fractions, we try to think like, is it closest to 0, 1/2, or 1/2? And that one is definitely closest to 0. Thanks, Gideon. Okay, how about the next one? This one here. Somebody who hasn't shared yet, want to go first? Okay, Alyssa, and then we'll see who wants to go after Alyssa. Go ahead.
It's the only one that's not divided into 8 parts.
Okay, I agree. Michaela, and then Andy.
It's the only one that doesn't have like a black circle in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of other kids notice that too, where all those 8ths come together. There's kind of this little black circle in the middle, but that one does not have it. Good. Andy?
Wait, what did Alyssa say?
She said it's the only one that's... Go ahead, Alyssa. Why don't you repeat for him?
It's the only one that's not divided into 1/8.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. It's the only one divided into 8.
I think,
8?
No, she said it's the only... she meant to say it's the only one not divided into 8ths.
Oh, yeah. It's divided into thirds.
Good. Okay, it's the only one divided into thirds. Perfect. And for that one, I noticed that even though only one piece is filled in, it's the largest size piece of any of them. Okay, how about this next one down here? Again, looking for people who haven't contributed yet. Okay, good. We're going to go Amy and then Dylan. And then remember, if you haven't contributed on any of these 3 yet, then I'm going to come to you first on the last one. So that might be you, Angel. I think you're the only one who hasn't yet. So go ahead, Amy, and then Dylan.
The only fraction that has 2 filled in.
Oh, okay, the only fraction that has 2 filled in. Thanks, Amy. Dylan?
The only one where what is filled in is 1/4.
Okay, the only one that's filled in is 1/4. Ooh, and I like that because even though this is 1/4 of the whole, what is an equivalent fraction that you can see here, Haley?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Can you see an equivalent fraction here to 1/4? Dylan said it has 1/4 filled in, but I think we could call that something else as well.
2/8.
Yeah, perfect. That's also 2/8. Okay, good. Kyler, did you have something else to add? You're muted.
Sorry.
That's good.
Do you mean about the fraction or like which one doesn't belong?
Like anything at all that you might want to say about this one, which one doesn't belong and why?
Oh, it's a square, so I don't know.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's exactly what Leah had typed in the chat. It's the only one that's a square and the rest are circles. And let's see here. What about the last one? Angel. Oh, sorry, Michaela, did you have one more for that? The third one?
I had one more for the second one.
One more for the second one. Okay.
In where it meets the center, it's the only one that is not an acute angle. It's an obtuse.
Oh, I like that, Michaela. So look how interesting that is. So where it meets in the middle, these are all acute angles, less than 90 degrees. Michaela notices these are all obtuse angles, greater than 90 degrees. Oh, good one, Michaela. Nobody said that in any of the classes yet. That was a original answer. Okay, so Angel, did you have one for the last one?
Yeah, it's the only one that has a majority of it shaded in.
Good. So what would we say then it's closest to if we're thinking about our benchmark fractions? Go ahead, Alyssa.
Oh, I just had another one.
Okay, I'll come to you next then. Dylan, did you have an answer as closest to?
1 whole.
Yeah, this one is definitely closest to 1 whole out of all of them. Good. Alyssa, what did you want to say as well?
Well, adding on to what Angel said, that it's the only one that has at least a half of it filled in.
Good. It's the only one that has at least half filled in. I agree. Does anybody know what this fraction is that is filled in on this one? Andy?
3/4.
3/4. Good. And what would the equivalent fraction be? So when we're saying 3/4, this is using our number sense about fractions because we can just see here we have our whole and you can see really clearly if you split it into 4 equal parts, there's that 1/4 or 1/4 that's missing. But Joey, what's the equivalent fraction that we actually see here in the parts?
6/8.
I don't know.
Very good. So 6/8 are actually filled in here, but we know that 6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. So remember yesterday when we were talking about in our DigiCross that we did for Tangy Tuesday, sometimes kids start to just get a little overwhelmed when they see fractions and say like, oh, I'm not sure how to reduce a fraction or simplify a fraction. I'm not sure how to make an equivalent fraction. But when you guys just know what you know about fractions and you use the visuals, you can just rely on what your understanding of fractions are, even if it's more challenging for you when you're only using the numbers. That's why I say to you always, don't be afraid to make a visual for yourself when it comes to fractions, because sometimes that really does the trick. Yes, Michaela?
I apologize. I was a little bit late, but I just came up with another one for the third.
Okay.
It's the only one that has right angles.
Ooh, wow, look at that. Good one, Michaela. So, and the right angles on the third one are located where?
In where, like, if you think of it as the fourths, each of those fourth blocks are split into 2 triangles. In one triangle, it's where it not where it meets in the center or the corner, but it's where it meets the that one where it meets the other squares. I don't know how to say it.
Okay. So yeah, and I think it's because so these type of triangles would actually be called, do you remember what we would classify those triangles as if they have a right angle right there?
A right triangle.
Yeah, so these are all right triangles. They all have these little right angles in them. So Michaela said she thinks these are the places where the right angles are. And I agree. Is there any other place in this one that you see right angles, anybody?
Oh, like the edges?
So describe even more, Andy, what you mean by that.
Like the outer lines.
So like, again, right here, like Michaela was saying?
No, not that, like... No, like without the fraction splitting things.
Okay,
like
so
those corners.
So Gideon says without the fractions, so you mean these ones right here, Gideon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michaela, what's interesting is that even though this angle right here inside this green triangle is an acute angle. When you combine it with this other triangle next to it, those two angles
equals a 90-degree